Hey guys, I've been asked to do another quick reading. People have been asking for an update on J.Lo for ages. It's not going to be a long reading, so I'm really run down today, a bit migrainey. But the last reading I did on them, I think it was May last year, so nearly a year ago. And at the time, they weren't in a relationship. I think she'd been seen with him. And I think the energy came through that they were, at that time, sleeping together. Sorry. They were sleeping together, that he really thought that this could be at this time, and the energy was that she could always almost be the one to save him, and this could be the real deal. And at the time she was really wary, and it was more of a fun thing for her at the time, and she was just really guarded. So that was extremely early stages. About nearly a year ago we checked in on her, so it's been a long time. And now the engagement's coming out, and apparently there's issues with Jennifer Garner as well about them moving into a massive house, and she's trying to keep her kids really down to earth and grounded, and she doesn't really like the sounds of everything. So let's just do an energy check on them. Didn't get the best cards last time. It was a lot of cards about addiction issues still and things like that coming up for Ben. I mean, that's something you're always going to be fighting with, you know. So let's just see quickly the energy. Okay, let's do first of all, how does Ben feel about the engagement and the marriage? I do feel, in a way, it feels like there's no stepping back from this now. In a little way, almost like he's been a bit pushed, because not just because of her. I feel almost like the public and the media are coming down on them with the pressure of them as a couple. So it's put pressure on her, and then she's putting more pressure on him to be taken seriously. I just heard, for them to be taken seriously as a couple, because a couple of months ago he started to waver off and die down a bit, and then all the rumors came out that it's not going to work, and that's a lot on her head, to be honest. It really is, to be in the limelight like that, and they've had one failed engagement. I really feel she's going to try and push through this no matter what. Even to the extent that even if they did marry and it didn't last so long as they actually make it to the altar, just heard, make it to the altar. So that's really on her mind. Of course it's going to be on her mind. You know, it's like public humiliation with how you know, people are going to give her crap. There's going to be all these memes coming out on it if it doesn't happen. And I think that's really bad, because that puts a lot of pressure on them as a couple. So let's just see how she feels right now. But I do feel it's a bit pushed at the moment, a bit forced. I just heard the word forced. And it's only because of all the, I just heard again the public scrutiny on them. So it's not easy. It is not an easy situation they're in right now. I just heard gloss over as well. So obviously I still feel there's issues with Ben's energy and they're glossing over it. But I do feel they're really in love. They are in love. I do feel they're really in love. But I hear gloss over. So how does she feel right now about the whole engagement? I still, every time I do this, guys, I just do not get the best cards and energy. Hoping for the best, I just heard. So with the star, it's like hoping for the best, that things are going to turn out for the best here. You know, wish come true. It's a wish come true, a long wish come true, I just heard. So something that she's always wanted, you know. This is like, I just heard fulfillment, like it's coming to an end and it's final fulfillment. So we got the wish come true card here, but then we also have the balance, which is balance is on and off. And again, I do feel that to him. It's almost like he's kind of, I just heard lone wolf. One of these guys that's very much like the hermit and can go into himself as well. So he needs time out, he needs space. And I just heard from the public eye and scrutiny. So, and I just heard she's more on a platter. Now, when I mean on a platter, I mean like everything out there, you know, what's going on. And he's more reserved because of what he's gone through. He's a bit more wary. And this is showing in the cards. So she does want her wish come true. She does want the happily ever after. Who wouldn't? Why would you not want that? Why would you not want that, you know? But I still get the worries that the balance is off here. And I do feel she's pushing for this more than him. I do feel the kids are being used a lot, as in, not using them like that, but saying as a blended family, it'd be good for them to give them that stability, which I do feel that Ben completely agrees on. But the balance is still off there. I just think it's too much too soon, you know? Because his energy's all over the place, and the hermit again is about her worried about him just going within on himself. And I feel he has these periods where he backs off or goes a bit quiet, where that's a lot of stress on her. There's a lot of stress on her when you think about it, that this is all in the public eye, and is he going to back out again? And a lot of people think it's going to be back out, you know, engagement number 2. But I really feel she's going to try and go through this no matter what, even if she feels it wouldn't last in the long term and it's going to be short-lived because of all the scrutiny from the last one. So again, that's really not helping the connection right now. But she wants a happily ever after, but the cards are just showing, again, every time I do this, that his balance energetically is not balanced enough right. It's not quite right. It's not right. I do really feel he did the whole love bombing thing with her as well, especially when they first got together. That's why she was so wary, because I just heard too good to be true. Like, this is too good to be true. So she was really careful a year ago in the energy of the reading. And now it's almost like, in a way, I just said, we have to go through with it. Because, again, it's out in the public eye. Let's just see, Ben, how does he feel right now about this all moving forward? How does he feel about this all moving forward? Ben's energy, how does he feel about it? How does he feel about it? How does he feel about it? Lay out the cards. Ben, how do you feel about this? Oh, guys, this came out last time as well. The Devil. I swear this card came out last time. It's kind of similar to J.Lo's in a way, that you want the happily ever after. He wants the happiness, he wants the sunshine, he wants the good life. Okay, he wants the same things as her, but underneath, again, the Devil came through last time, which is temptations, addictions. So alcoholism, it could be toxic relationship, toxic connections. That energy is still with him. So that's the thing I kept getting last time, and that's where I feel she's sensing this unbalance, and that's why she's anxious. That Devil energy is still with him. And it's almost like the Hangman next to it is almost like not him letting go of the connection, but wanting to let go of this and move on to a brand new start with her. So that's what he wants, but this is still in his energy, because it's like a disease. You can't just stop being an alcoholic. He will be fighting this his whole life. That's why it's going to be so tricky. I feel for him. And then I'm picking one last card here for how he feels, guys, which is the Page of Swords, which is, again, like I said before, wanting to slow down a bit. And I just heard the word accelerated too fast, and I feel it's accelerated too fast. Again, I keep hearing public scrutiny here. Public scrutiny. It's almost like the pressure is on her to get engaged again, so she's putting the pressure on him to get engaged again, and it's all a bit too soon. And even if they're getting, they are engaged, guys, excuse me. Even if they get married, they're an iconic couple. It's almost like Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, you know. Of course I'd like them to be together, work it out. It's like, well, that fairy tale ending, she gets her fairy tale ending. But let's just see the energy for them both as a couple in the coming months, okay? Let's just see, how are they going to be in the coming months? How are they going to be in the coming months as a couple? How are they going to be in the coming months? I feel this is the wedding, the build-up. I really do. I feel it's Jennifer Garner coming in there. The Empress pretty much is abundance, fertility, happy times. So we've got the Magician, which is like an omen to success here as well. But then we also have, so I feel like this is the build-up to them living the happily ever after, because I heard the word fairy tale. But then the Five of Cups is still looking back at grief and sadness, and I feel that is him. And I feel there's a lot of pressure on him at the moment because of what happened before. Because the Three of Cups means there's three in this relationship. Now, I don't mean an affair. I really feel this could be Jennifer Garner's energy coming through, as in almost like it didn't work out the first time around, but he tried it and it didn't work out because he still has that energy in him, you know, the addictions and things like that. He's always going to be fighting. So even though, again, all the energy is we want this happily ever after, we've still got looking back on the past of grief and sadness over what has gone. Now, I wouldn't say he's still in love with Jennifer Garner like that. He deeply respects her. I think he's just scared about screwing it up. The Devil's on the bottom, just when I look. I just feel he's scared about screwing it all up. I do. He's looking back at the past right now about what happened, and he's scared about the future in this connection. He's scared about the future. Now, out of interest, does Jennifer Garner feel this is too fast? Moving too fast? How does she feel? Does she feel this is just moving way too fast? How does she feel? In a way, I just got as well, I'm just sensing that she actually wants structure for the kids, and she wants him to find a partner that he can settle with so the kids have structure and balance. She's more worried about him right now more than J.Lo. So she's not worried about J.Lo interfering or causing any issues. The energy is more, is Ben going to mess it up? Okay? She's worried about that coming in. Oh, yeah. Because look. her energy over it. 9 of Swords, anxiety, sleepless nights, wondering how this is all going to work out. A lot of anxiety over it, about the future connection. Also about movement as well, travel the world. So this is just coming up now. I don't know how much J.Lo actually travels because she's got her own kids as well. So I would have thought they're settled in the same place. But it's almost like she's worried about the new cycle coming in for them as a family as well. And about her. And I do pick up the word jet setting. So maybe the kids being overseas, a lot of movement with the children as well. So I feel she's worried about that being separated from her. And again, it kind of backs up what they were saying about the papers. I mean, Queen of Wands, this for me is coming through as J.Lo, very, very creative woman, very passionate, very sensual, like an artist kind of card. This is what usually comes through, this anxiety over this, and it's her lifestyle. And I just heard too much in the public eye. And I feel she's going to come through and literally say, no, you can't take the kids here, you can't take the kids there, or if you do, she's not going to block him from ever seeing the children, but some of the things J.Lo may want to do with the children, she really wants to keep them out of the public eye and she wants to keep them grounded. I really feel she's worried about them being dragged to certain red carpet events and things like that. Too much in the limelight. I just feel she wants to keep them out of the public eye, and she's worried about this lifestyle coming of J.Lo being very out there in the limelight with what she does. It's a lot of anxiety is causing her. It is. 2 of Cups as well, the partnership. I do feel she senses this good. It's just kind of messy all round, if I'm honest. She does kind of see them as like soulmates in a way, because we got the 2 of Cups for how she felt as well. But then again, the Queen of Swords for the energy as well is somebody that can be, not Jen, by the way. J.Lo is in really putting their foot down and saying, no, we're going to do this, and not backing down for certain things she wants for their lifestyle. And I feel, again, this is probably to do with this massive mansion they're going to buy. And Jen, I think the rumours are true about Jen, that she's worried about the kids are going to be not living how she brought them up. She wants them to be grounded and balanced. She doesn't want them to be away with the fairies or travelling around the world or going on 5-star hotels and resorts. And she wants to have that grounded element for them, and I feel that's the anxiety coming through as well. So overall, it's still a mixed bag, if I'm honest. It's still a mixed bag with this. Okay, one last question. Now, the hard thing about when you do really long term, like in a year or whatever's time, people have free will to change their minds. That's the thing. You have free will any time. So every reading you ever do is only guidance of where the energy could go. Let's just say next year, how are they going to be as a couple next year? Okay, in a year's time, J.Lo and Ben, how are they going to be in a year's time? How are they going to be in a year's time? And again, I never usually do a year ahead because anything can happen in a year. Right, how's their energy going to be? Money-wise, it's going to work really well for them. Proper power couple here card coming through. Lots of money, lots of contracts, I just had lots of material. I don't know what they mean material. They mean things like magazines and covers and things like that. Material, lots of material. I don't mean material wealth, by the way. They're going to have that anyway, but it's going to come from materials they're on. I know it sounds weird. I think that what they mean is magazines, covers, spreads I just heard. You know, cover stories. It's going to really pay out for them. But again, even in a year's time, there's that I still feel this is Ben. I still feel this is his energy. You know, still not happy. He's got the marriage, he's got the beautiful wife, you know, he's got the massive mansion, he's got everything he could possibly want. He's got a blended family, you know, everyone coming together, trying to make it work for the kids. And there's still that underlying unhappiness there. It's still that underlying unhappiness. And I don't think this is with J.Lo. I still feel it's with him. And the 3 of Cups again is still going to be causing issues, guys, which I do feel that's Jennifer Garner. There's going to be issues there with them all working things out together. And I pull one more. Okay. I do want to end on a good note, so I'm going to try and pull one more as well, okay? The Tower, things falling apart. Him being not really happy. 3 of Cups I feel is going to be interference about the way they bring up the children. The Tower means things could fall apart suddenly here. And the Hangman, which is usually letting go. I just feel it's going to be messy. He's going to mess up, come back in, mess up, come back in. I just feel it's going to be messy. Even in a year's time, the energy is going to be very much on, off, high, low, all over the place, even if they get married. Okay? So, yes, every time I do this, I think it's the devil that comes up. The devil. So, addictions, temptations, things like that. I feel for anyone having to fight through anything, like any kind of addiction, you know? Oh, that's it, guys. That's my update after nearly a year. I still feel it's going to be messy. It's going to be a messy connection. It's not going to be a balanced connection. It's not, it's just not really gelling, should I say, okay? Not really gelling. Hopefully they can turn it around, okay? They've got free will, but I feel it's going to be Ben going into more of these dark stages where he might be down and depressed, and it's going to affect the relationship, and she's going to try and lift him up and cheer him up. But she can't help him. She can't save him. Only he can help himself. And that's it. I'm leaving it there. All right. Love you guys. Bye.